Hey guys, welcome back. BDCKR here. We're back with our weekly recap of all things Injustice. This video is for the week of May 2nd, 2019. The current character challenge is for Dawn of Justice Superman. That's a 1-week repeat, and the required characters for that are Zod, Lex Luthor, and Doomsday, who are available as gold, bronze, and silver, respectively.
An improvement over last week when one of the golds that was needed was a challenge. Zod, I think, is available as a Man of Steel Zod in the store, so that should be good.
Yeah, it's always so weird to me when you need a challenge character for another challenge character, because on a fundamental level, it means that you need to have done a previous challenge. And so,
Right.
the fact that they do it for some means that if you happen to get the wrong ones they're doing for it, it's sort of a loop.
And it's exclusionary.
Yeah.
For the newer players. It's harder for the people who haven't been playing for
Which
a
are
while.
the people that the challenge characters are most useful to.
Yeah. So Dawn of Justice Superman, good high stats. At one point, I think he was probably the highest total stat guy. He's been surpassed since then, but still, interesting passive. It's called Shattering Blow. So Superman's special attacks have a chance to shatter equipment, temporarily disabling all gear on the opponent. I really like this as a fun kind of thing to play with, right? Because it's an antidote to those really long, drawn-out fights when you're down to the opponent's tank that can't do a lot of damage. But you can't do a lot of damage either because they have some sort of healing or something, right?
Yeah.
And then they keep on regenerating. So the only problem with this, I guess there's two, is one is that your special has to be unblocked for this passive to trigger. And the trigger chance is less than half. It's about 40%.
Yeah.
And when it says temporarily, we're talking about a minute.
So it's not that long.
I guess not. Like in the context of a fight that's lasting 10 minutes, it's not. But in most fights, if you've actually gotten rid of their gear, then
They go down quicker.
Yeah, I mean it's a little bit like the Claw of Horus in terms of shattering gear, but it's unlike it because Claw of Horus lasts as long as they're in. So it could potentially last forever if you're down to one guy, but it also could last a lot shorter when they tag out because it rinses off. The Claw of Horus gear shattering rinses off. The Superman's does not.
Yeah. And we got a video demonstrating Superman.
Right, that was the one, the Ghostbusters themed one where you did that thumbnail.
Oh yeah.
Ray Parker.
So that link will be in the description. This week's multiplayer reward is Astro Force, which becomes the Astro Harness, and the abilities when fully maxed out is on any special attack applies electric damage over time, dealing 10% of special damage for 5 seconds. On lethal hit, 75% chance to trigger a power shield that will absorb damage up to 40% of max health. And then the evolved ability, which is invulnerability for 5 seconds at health thresholds 100%, 50%, and 10%.
So I do want to point out that it's interesting, right? That the shield that you get for people who don't have the Astro Harness, that shield you get is after all your health is removed. So at the point where you are down to nothing, then you potentially have a shield that acts sort of like health.
Yeah.
But if they hit you hard enough, I guess it could use up all your health and the shield.
Yeah, it's not a separate hit. It is like as the lethal hit is happening and the damage still carries through to your shield. Yeah,
and there's, I guess, a 1 in 4 chance. It's still pretty big that it won't trigger. Which is, I mean, I know that I've been saved a couple fights when I'm fighting an opponent that has it, that I feel like I get away with something when the shield doesn't trigger.
Yeah. But it is a great gear for the tank.
Yeah, there's basically, in terms of our 3 archetypes of characters, right? There's the tank, there's a basic damage dealer, there's a special specialist. Each one of those has one sort of ideal gear. And the Astro Harness to me is the ideal gear for the tank. The same way the overpowered super is for the basic damage dealer, and the Tantu Totem is for the special specialist.
Yeah, so there we go. This is definitely a good gear to pick up if you haven't already.
Oh, and I should point out in that link, if you haven't already clicked on it for Dawn of Justice Superman, we have it. We've messed around with it a little bit with it so that our basic damage dealer has the Astro Harness because we're trying to show how good Dawn of Justice is. So we're using a first guy to soften him up, and then using Dawn of Justice Superman to really mow through everybody. That was a lot of fun.
In the store, we have the Dawn of Justice Wonder Woman cash pack for $27 Canadian or 20 US unless something's changed. Not worth it. Just a reminder that it's only 1 copy and that they won't unlock in your store. It might be a clue for next week's challenge, but it's not certainty.
Unless there's an update. And what's funny is we'll talk about later because the Phantom Zone is back. Oh, spoiler! But a couple times well, maybe not a couple times. The last time there was an update was when the Phantom Zone was there, and it sort of messed up people's progress a little bit.
Yeah.
So maybe that's a sign. I mean, I'm guessing we're getting close to the time where another update would not be a surprise.
Yeah.
But what's worse? All right. So the other cash pack new for this week is the Blackest Night pack, and it's technically not new. It's new for this week because it hasn't been around for a while, but it was previously 666,000 credits,
Which is not a lot.
at Halloween.
Yeah.
And it is now the low, and I'm putting quotes, air quotes, right with my fingers.
Sarcastic air quotes.
Yeah.
You could just say it sarcastically.
The low price of $53, which is ridiculous.
I just want to say the viewers have missed out on the facial expression you made, which is apparently your sarcastic voice. It was
Sarcastic face.
very hard to parse.
Yeah. And it's sad because there's still no packs in rotation that are for power credits. So
Yeah.
I hope that's not a sign that they're done with it. Hopefully it's an experiment and that they're going to change their mind again at some point.
And they're not trying to squeeze every last penny out of us.
Before they, drop support for the game.
Yeah. In Survivor, we have the Fourth World gear set until the 15th of May, 2019.
Right. And I guess we'll see if people are going to report that they're still randomly getting Suicide Squad gears. Because for us, the last couple weeks was announced as Suicide Squad. So even if you were getting problematic, tickets and gears in the last laugh, you'd still be getting what was announced. Yeah. So we'll see. But the news is...
Yeah, as you spoiled earlier, Phantom Zone is back.
Yes, and there's a couple more buy-ins, so we'll be grinding a little bit over the next couple of weeks and see how much Valorium we can accumulate and see...
For a new running total.
Yeah, see if it's actually possible. I mean, you can't know absolutely because it's supposed to be a random amount of Valorium alloy for each one, but I think we're getting pretty close to what the max is when we average out doing it on the max crystal every single time and using every nth metal buy-in that we have.
Yeah, it's not an absolute maximum, but it should be pretty close to the average maximum.
Right.
For people who have been playing consistently, they shouldn't have a significant amount more or less than us.
Especially for the number of times you have to play. I mean, I can understand maybe, you get lucky once or twice.
Yeah.
But over the course of, I don't know how many Phantom Zone events.
Yeah, the more drops there are, the closer you get to a statistical average.
Yeah.
The harder it is to deviate significantly.
Right.
Anyways, moving on to our current glitches, just remember that every working glitch is explained in a video as part of the playlist that you can reach by clicking the I in the top right corner of this video, and we keep that up to date more often than we keep these videos up to date. There hasn't been a lot of changes in the past while, but if there ever was, or if you ever thought there was, that's where you check first to see if we think there is.
Right. And spoiler alert, nothing has changed this week.
Just to finish up with the sort of housekeeping for that, we're Android only, so we're only able to confirm these glitches for Android. And if you see an iOS user in the comments, or you are an iOS user needing help, leave a comment, and you guys should try to be each other's resources.
Yeah. So we'll start with the not working glitches, mainly because... you could already have seen the list of what's actually working. And that's more of an interesting question for some people because we know that certain things used to work.
Yeah.
And a lot of the questions that we get now are, is this still working?
And a lot of the answers are no.
Right. So currently, there's no working glitch for credits that we can endorse. And that language is very specific because we talk a lot more about it in our P and Q and C and A and T, which is our overnamed Q&A video. Season 6, Episode 9, where we go into why logging into the same account on two separate devices is not something that we are comfortable doing.
Yeah.
Because of the risk.
We also have, I mess this up every time, in the category of things that aren't working, there's the glitch for getting repeated past multiplayer season rewards, the glitch for early multiplayer season rewards, there is no glitch to get through Phantom Zone quickly, and that's, I think, the set of them. Yeah,
so... none of those.
Yeah.
So let's start on working glitches. Breakthrough glitch to let you play it repeatedly, still working. We've cut and pasted into the description a comment from a viewer with a potential solution for people who are having trouble using the glitch to play extra breakthroughs, but we can't confirm whether it works because we're not having the same problem. We've never had the problem with it since we started using it.
Mm-hmm. The challenge reset method that requires Google Play Cloud Save is working, and that's confirmed on the current Dawn of Justice Superman challenge. The challenge reset can remove Phantom Zone progress, which is actually relevant again. So now that the Phantom Zone event is back, you should keep that in mind and just make sure that any Phantom Zone crystal progress is progress that you're willing to potentially lose if you're going to use this glitch.
Yeah, because as I played the Phantom Zone, I mean, a month and a bit gone now since the last one, I remember now how much of a grind it is.
Yeah.
To try to satisfy all those requirements.
When it wasn't here, you wanted it. Now that it's here, you're...
I'm dreading it.
Yeah.
So the airplane mode / refund glitch is still working. It's good for both packs with random drops, also known as loot box, and last laugh tickets. It is not good for things that require an internet connection, which is what the Phantom Zone rewards require. And people have been telling us that on iOS at least they've been able to re-roll the Phantom Zone reward by swapping counts. We haven't been able to get that to work.
Yeah. So just a reminder, metal characters sell for $240. The cheapest pack that you can get a metal character in can be bought for $200. So you can farm nth metal that way, but we don't recommend it. It takes too long. But that's really, I think, one of the major applications of this glitch now if you were looking to get new credits.
Yeah, because there's not a lot to spend your credits on now.
Yeah. Time shifting still works in Android for unlimited survivor play and energy recharges. As always, return your clock back to normal before you finish.
Free energy without having to watch the video still works. And, at the times when it does, we don't really have a great solution for when our button is grayed out. But there is potentially one for iOS. We've cut and pasted viewer Dragons 952's potential solution. It's in the description, but we can't confirm whether it works because we are not iOS.
Ooh, and it's been a while since I've been able to take this one. In between the not working and working glitches, we have the glitch in Limbo, the promotion glitch, where you can promote characters that are still locked. It has not had the right conditions since update 2.14, so it's still not testable and still not usable, and it's sort of just hanging around on this list because our requirements for taking something off haven't been met, but our requirements for a glitch being working, which is being testable, also haven't been met. Right. So it sort of exists in this weird space because of our penchant for following rules that we set arbitrarily.
So there's a couple things when you said the glitch where you can promote characters. Part of me wanted to say, but you can't. And the other thing is Limbo. I just realized too, there was a comic book called Rom the Space Knight.
Yes.
And he used to have a gun that he would send the dire wraiths into Limbo by shooting them, and they were shapeshifters. And I don't know why it just occurred to me. I thought, that was one of those comics where I read it because it happened to be available. And I never found out what happened to it. And I think now I've got the resources. I probably should dig that up. And
this is more relevant to Injustice than a lot of our Q&A questions have become, so I'll allow it. Anyways, we're finished up with talking about Injustice anyway, so it's okay if we ramble a little bit. But to finish up, we do have a Patreon, and if you want to support what we do with your cold hard cash, but also just emotionally, I guess. Weird way of phrasing it, but you can go to patreon.com/bdckr and click our channel icon at the bottom right corner at the end of this video.
Yeah, not the little one, because I think there's a little one for subscribing, and at the end of our video there's a big icon
of our face.
Not our face, of Lobo's face.
That's
true. Technically that is our face as BDCKR.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
But we have to give a huge thank you to our Patreon patrons who have made the decision to support us, and we have to also say goodbye to a couple of them.
So let's start. So big thank you to Console Peasant, Eddie G, who are both supporting us at the top tier last word, iProfit supporting us at the Your Message Here tier, and Daniel Simonson, Sean Farrell, and Aaron Mall, who are supporting us on the credited level. Mm-hmm. And I mean, so Eddie, this is kind of weird because we sort of blew our filming for Tuesday because even though exams were over, moving and having some of your dorm mates over with us and helping them with the stuff sort of killed the time that we had this week. Yeah. So technically that should have been the last time in April.
But we'll probably give them a send off in the upcoming Q&A.
Yeah. So it was, and we should say, so the send off is for Eddie G and iProfit, who are leaving us as patrons, and we wanted to thank these guys for how much support they've given us already. Mm-hmm. I mean, we're sad to see them go, but so grateful that they decided that we were worth supporting.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, it wasn't an expectation. It was a bonus that we got, that people decided to support us on Patreon. So we're not like upset at them. you know? It is bittersweet for sure.
Yeah, no. I'm always surprised every month that people are still sticking with us, and I'm so grateful for that.
Yeah, so there we go. Thank you so much for your support. And thank you all so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Komoda.